Hello, gamers one and all. I have decided to pull a very unhealthy all-nighter for this due to some scheduling shenanigans. I was supposed to host Brawl tomorrow. It got moved to tonight, and I said, you know what? I don't need to sleep for work. I just want to watch Subspace Emissary. I love Subspace Emissary, and I don't know what to expect out of a speedrun. But let me tell you, I'm a person who has a hard time playing a game more than once. I struggle to beat games. I'll get to the end and just stop. But I also really struggle to beat them. Play them more than once. Subspace Emissary, I've beaten at least 7 times in my life. I love the story. It lives in my head rent-free, which I was saying in the green room. It's unforgettable to me, and I'm very excited to see it busted up in a speedrun. So with that, I've already filled all the time I need. This is Techstrobe and InprisonedShadow with Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Subspace Emissary, any percent co-op. Take it away.
Night. Alright, hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing good on, at least for me, 2 in the morning. Thanks, Shadow. So this is Subspace Emissary, probably the only thing anyone remembers about Brawl. And we're just gonna get right into it. So this is, I believe, the first ever marathon co-op run. So that's cool. Alright. And then time starts 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so just to be honest right away, this is probably one of the worst 2-player games functionally. The second player is near useless aside from a couple of things, just because of how the game works. The camera stays the same on the first player, so it's just first player priority everywhere.
Yeah, Tech is going to be playing the game. I'm going to be kind of following him.
There's a couple of things where it's going to be super useful for having the second player, especially at the end of blocked fights, where on the last enemy, Shadow is ideally going to be attacking, and I'm going to be running away towards the rest of the level. That's just kind of how it goes with 2-player. So that's a slight benefit. Also, he's probably going to try to be behind me at all times, so I get a little push rather than having my run speed. Or add to my run speed by pushing me a little bit. So that's another thing. But that felt really good for whatever reason. Other than that, there's like really not too much. You'll see him teleporting a lot. That's just because of the priority of the camera. He's just gonna be put besides me quite a lot, just to be able to catch up with me. And if he's far away from the main camera, then his run speed will look ridiculous just to catch up to the first player. And that's how he's gonna be able to push me. So one thing I will note is that we are on emulator, we're not like side by side, and we're using a Dolphin build that has like integrated instant like netplay connection. And so it's like the best option we have, so it's so good you probably might not even see up to 10 for spike lags. There will be a couple, it's just the nature of it, but it's super rare to like have more than just a couple, which is ridiculous, honestly. So that's good. So you'll see Shadow's run speed just go crazy every now and then. But also another thing with 2-player in this is that there will be some more enemies in some stages, and all enemies have a bit of extra health just to compensate. To be a bit too simple. Alright, so with this game, there's actually quite a lot of skips, and the first one is being performed here. There's a fight at the end of this level that I'm going to be skipping over. because when Sakurai and the crew were making this game, when they were messing with the fight triggers, they didn't put them all the way up to the blast zone, so you can actually just go over a lot of them. And because Shadow's second player, he doesn't really have priority, so he can like go inside the triggers without activating the fights, while I have to actually skip them. So that was the first fight skip of many.
Yep. Glide for any character other than Charizard is absurdly broken in this game.
It's a lot of Mennonite. So right here, he'll try to push me. If he's a character that can't really match my main character, he'll try to teleport. And it's so hard to notice, but it's like it's taking a frame each time, pushing me barely.
Yeah, if he lands and I do it like right before he connects with the ground, then it saves a little bit more time.
Yeah, and stuff like this, just to be ahead of me to like prevent me from having to do anything. Like right here in 1P, I would have normally dash attacked those blocks to make it through, but he was just ahead of me, so I was able to just hold forward and keep running. Just really nice.
There's that run speed.
Yeah, and those rolls are actually faster. I don't know why dash attack, I'm sorry. Oh, you took that from me. Thank you.
I'm trying to push him there.
Yeah. So functionally, outside of a few things, this is not the greatest 2P1 run, but it's just, in general, a good run to watch. A lot of skips in the strats that have been figured out over the last, like, 8 years. And then there's some times where it's better for me to actually do fights in the normal one-piece spots. That's just kind of how it goes.
You want the Mega Shrimp?
It's probably a waste of time, but... I need to jump.
Oh.
Whatever.
And Sheik, for some reason, can one-shot that thing. I don't know why.
Yeah, they have a lot of health, especially with being on 2P, but creeps just get demolished for whatever reason. Alright, so there's a turquoise cube, which has an item pool every time you see one. And you took my damn thing. This is why 2P sucks. So right there was like a 50-50 chance of getting a big mushroom or a poison mushroom, and just to be a bit faster with these cycles, getting that big mushroom and hitting the right frame. But, you know, Shadow took it from me and wasted our 2 seconds of time save.
Sorry, I'll get it back from him. Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. You're behind.
I'm trying to get behind you. There we go.
Yeah. Just depends on like the 2 characters that we're playing that it can work properly. Oh, there's a frame lag. There'll be a couple occasionally, but it's really not that many that will show up, I promise. This is like a ridiculously good build for net play.
Wow.
It's technically supposed to be integrated with rollback netcode, but they're still working on that, because this is supposed to be for Project Plus and Brawl, but it's still in the works. And there hasn't been, I think, an update since June, when I just checked a little bit ago. So we're not playing on... It looks like, for like being online and playing on netplay, it looks like rollback with how everything's running smooth until the like occasional frame lag. But it's just, this build is ridiculously good. And I guess I could mention the loading times. Can this Franklin badge go away? I'm supposed to do damage boost. I don't think it's going away. Wow, okay, cool. There goes like a second. But this Dolphin build, sadly, doesn't give the fastest loads. A lot of them are barely faster than what you would see on console. But there's a couple that are bad just because of the nature of 2 players, just loading in another extra character than normal. So I'd like to believe that this build is like either around equal or worse than console. So anytime we get like a better time than console record, it's technically record.
Yeah.
Technically not, but technically is. I always forget that movement.
Also, like going off the emulator thing, it's not like fully finished yet, and since we're playing on a specific version of the game for skips later on, we'll cover them when we get to them. It kind of just works out because normally when you're loading this netplay, you have to. It's just like a random queue. There's no like direct connection with the player. But since we're the only two people in the world playing on the PAL version of the game on emulator, we can queue up together.
Yeah. Even if we played on NTSCU, it's like not a problem because it just depends who's connecting at the same time. And this is Brawl after all, like literally no one plays this. The competitive scene got a little more active at the end of last year, but it's not really been much different. But yeah, PAL version is slightly better because of a few minute things, and especially one large skip, and then kind of like a better version of another skip. Alright, so this I'm gonna explain after. Alright, I tried to go for a pause glitch. Just anytime there's a locked fight, you're able to press pause the frame it starts, and that just unlocks this fight camera so that I'm able to move around in the fight freely with an unlocked camera. And if I just play my cards right, I can manipulate the enemies by being far away from them, and they would just despawn, and the rest of the wave would spawn and whatnot. I only do that for a certain amount of fights because of the strats that are figured out, because they are different from like the regular fight strats. So only a handful are faster. But I do go for almost all of them that are figured out to be faster. There's just like a couple that save like 2 to 3 seconds that I just don't go because it's not worth. So anything that's like 5 seconds or more I do go for at the very least. You were supposed to know me.
Dash attack.
There's some stuff like that where you have to trust, because it's faster to just not break stuff with one player. Okay. Can this game stop? Yeah.
I lagged out a little bit there.
Alright, I think you can slingshot this, right? And no, you're too slow.
No.
There's some stuff where it just doesn't work. You have to deal with it. So I guess I could mention right now, because it is a scary reality, but just the way Dolphin is on netplay, nothing is ever saved. And we have gotten a crash before, but it was like literally before the final boss. And I'm sure it's because of connectivity issues or whatnot, but our connection's been pretty good. There you go. I just had to wait for him to hit the button. So there is that very random chance at some point the game could just crash, and sadly that's the run. Because I don't think we can start another run like an hour in after this would crash. But
Yeah.
The one time it happened, it was just we had bad connectivity like the whole second half. But considering we're playing, you know, at freaking 2 in the morning instead of at the same time the Super Bowl while someone's having a party in their house, we should be fine.
Couldn't be me.
I'm gonna try to skip a little bit of this auto scroller. Yeah, that was slightly. Yeah, no. Would have saved like 4 seconds on emulator or something like that if I'd gotten through this door. It's really hard. It's a couple of auto scroller, like little door skips that'll happen. So yeah. So this is upcoming is one of the first cases of not being able to swap to the optimal 1-player character just because we're on 2-player, and since we're 1 and 2 characters, I stay Fox, he stays Diddy. So normally on 1-player, this upcoming mini boss is done with Diddy Kong optimally, but I'm Fox and I have to stay Fox, so I just kind of have to lure him over to Shadow, just do a quick kill. A couple of times where it's more optimal to be a character that's useful later on in the stage, rather than at that moment. That's just the nature of 2-player, just to be fast. You'll see it prominently with 2 other levels later on. So I just have to learn myself.
Oh,
I just did a grab release.
Oh, he's dead.
All right.
It's not usually how that goes, but
Yeah.
The game gives you some sometimes.
It's just because of the functionality, like, that's not that good in terms of, like, 1P. But that's just how we have to deal with it.
Yeah, like, that's actually pretty good for 2-player. And we have a auto-scroller here.
Like, I probably could just SD myself, and then Shadow just do the fight himself. I don't know if that works, but I don't know if that also might go against the ruling that we have for, like, intentionally SDing to benefit player, like, 1 or 2, I guess, which is disallowed. That's been a ruling. Just because it turns the game into fully, like, 1 player. Really.
Yeah.
So, I guess it makes sense not to do it, but it probably would be faster.
Lucas has some pretty glitchy tech as a character. You do like a side B at the same time. You could go super high like Tech just did right there.
He's one of the more useful characters that's not Hit or Meta Knight. You'll see a couple fight skips. And also you'll see a lot more auto-scrollers, but it's not too much. It's only like 12.5 minutes. I did the timing many years ago, but an any percent run has like 12.5 minutes of auto-scrollers, and it's a 2-hour run, so like not even an eighth of the run is auto-scrollers, and people have complained about those before. It's really not that much. It's just in the moment they're really slow just because of the difficulty we're playing on. If we were on Intense, this would be over in like 40 seconds. But Intense is not very quick. And a very bad difficulty to run. I hope no one after I did plays Intense. It is god-awful. Only do it casually. Yeah. There's a lot of multi-hit, really, for this boss.
Nice.
Watch this SDI. Oh. There. Alright, so... Oops.
You were supposed to.
Yeah. Well... That's...
Okay.
I thought it automatically goes to Lucas.
Okay. Well, this is kind of awkward, but we'll manage.
Yeah. So, yeah, now I can't do the fight skip, which honestly, optimally, like, saves, what, 10 seconds? And maybe even less because of, like, bad RNG from enemies that might come towards me. But then again, I lose a bit of time because of movement for this level. Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
But it's literally like one of the, like, not the worst. One of the better ones to just kind of not be able to do the fight skips anyway. Yeah. I'm supposed to be Lucas because of a fight skip at the end. But oh well. Really not the end of the world. Another fight or pause glitch attempt. If I got it, this one to do it really quick is very wonky. Yeah, I don't know Squirtle movement here at all, other than in P+. But now I can't do this fight skip, so...
Yeah, there's like a little horde fight at the end of this little section here, and you can just jump over it with Lucas's up B, surprisingly. It's actually one of the easier ones too. The only kind of hard part is the flows can kind of mess you up if you're trying to go fast with it.
Yeah, that was probably like...
That was still like really good.
Like 7 seconds of time loss.
Yeah.
Oh, still another fight skip with Lucas anyway.
Yeah.
I thought it was on Lucas for whatever. I barely play this anymore after getting my...
Don't believe him.
The time I got for any %. Like, outside of playing NG Plus last year because of competition, I barely play this game, I swear. I thought I waited. So that's my excuse. Ah, that doesn't happen.
Okay.
So I need the shield here. We're playing on a bit of buffer just so that there's no frame lag. So hitting these perfect shields are actually hard. And I guess no damage boost. So here normally, because of the enemies involved, Meta Knight normally on easy difficulty, the only enemies he can't one-shot are sword pyramids. So normally in one player, Marth is more optimal. But because there's no more character selection after this, besides like the ending room, I'm going to be doing a very large room, like skipping a large portion of the next room, which can only be done with Meta Knight because of his funny glide, of course. So that is why I'm Meta Knight here instead of Marth myself.
That bomb is in a janky spot.
Alright. So, I mean, Shadow can talk to you about this if he wants to.
Yeah,
doing
so he's going to do a series of glides here. All of these are to skip certain fight triggers. So he skipped one of them. He's going to go back to that. I didn't die.
Oh, both of them are running. In two-player, that's actually not that good. Because they could both stop. Alright, well, that's actually lucky.
Yeah.
Kill him.
Okay.
Alright. Hey, camera. Oh my god.
So we're skipping a lot of sections with this right now, and there's one more fight. There's a fight right here he skipped, and then he's gonna glide over this one.
Oh, your teleport
and he got it. Yeah, I know.
Your teleport particles almost like messed me up.
And yeah, so that saved like 4 minutes, something like that.
4 minutes? What?
How much is it?
Like maybe 40 seconds or something.
40 seconds? Oh.
You really are. You've lost your touch.
Yeah.
Well, that was all those skips like that. I basically half skipped the auto scroller because the first two fights were so close to one another that you can enter them both and instantly end one fight while activating another, and that basically, like the pause glitch, unlocks the fight camera. But the thing is, because we got the animation for the ending of a locked fight, we're able to freely move, and there is no locked camera. But the first fight was still going on, technically, and that's how that worked. It is very confusing and always annoying to mention in a run, especially when doing it. Or marathon run. And now I am doing another fight skip, if there wasn't already enough in this level.
Yeah, this level pretty much just got completely demolished when Tech found all these skips in the stage.
Yeah, really just the auto-scroller. A lot of these fight skips were figured out by a Norwegian player, Desh. He really figured that out before we started implementing myself and old record holder Ducky back in like mid-2017. It's like a couple months after I got into the run is when we started to implement all these fight skips. But they were, a good amount of them were kind of figured out by Desh, like around a year or less before that. Oh wait, I thought one of them was a boomerang. Alright, so in this level, Shadow will try his best because Link is one of the worst characters in Subspace. The pause glitch, that one's normally the easiest to hit, but didn't work. Alright, so right here is a case of, yeah, just me exiting a little later, Shadow finishing it off. Oh, you took the damage boost.
Yeah, me too.
Oh god. I thought I hit too late. Oh, I forgot there was one more. Now I can go.
One block.
Yeah, this level's pretty uneventful. Just a lot of Yoshi movement, really. Alright, you hit that.
Ooh.
Like, they happen every now and then, but it's really not much.
Okay. Yeah, damage boost back into it.
Oh, supposed to do a grab. A boot, not really a boost grab, but like just a sliding grab. That was good. To kill that shell pod. Alrighty. Do I remember movement?
Hopefully you do.
I swear there's something faster than that. That's so old. If there's anything I just can't remember off the top of my head, I'd just go back to, like, 2018. Push me!
It's a good time.
Alright. Pikachu. Pikachu good, because quick attack cancels are good. Oh. Again, just chain up Bs. Constantly move forward.
Yeah, this is one of the worst levels for Xerxes Samus. Like, she's great competitively, but she's pretty bad in terms of subspace.
There's a fight skip here that we shall not name. Because it's absolutely terrible to try and hit.
Okay.
There's sometimes like that where I have to improvise while he kills the last enemy. So, there might be a couple more of those. And hopefully not dying. And then right here.
There you go.
Hit it. even need that. So right there is bad game design by Sakurai and the boys. There's a button that you're supposed to take 2 keys to get to hit to activate the upcoming auto-scroller we're entering. But for whatever reason, the 2 characters that we can play as can just do their up B and down B respectively to hit the button through the floor. So you only need 1 key. Amazing game design.
Yep.
So I just let him hit the button. I just got close enough with the camera so that he can actually hit it. And then right here is more teamwork, because he's going to hit a button after I kill these enemies. Ooh.
I'm doing something.
Yay. Like, it might be like a good watch, but this is just the most near useless 2-player run. Functionally. I'm like trying to remember movement that I messed up in the practice run like an hour ago. What? How did he turn around? I've never seen that Rob turn around in my life.
Must have been me or something.
That 2-player?
Maybe.
That was so weird.
When in doubt, just blame 2-player. This is a very scary level for me.
Ooh. Ah, ran away from me.
I kind of just weaken these guys for Pikachu.
Oh, I thought there was just one. Oh, I thought you were about to just throw that. Why'd you throw it? It's metal! Just as I say it, of course.
Whew.
Yeah, metal pyramids reflect items. So that's why he got hit. Because he's stupid.
Wow!
Alright, let's not lose 2 minutes.
Okay. This fight is awful.
These 2 fights are like... Well, this one's kind of okay, but then double fight after this fight is terrible. Like, literally, I think other than, like, a couple of, like, former record runners, they had, like, they had a separate split for these fights. Because they're bad. And, you know, they gravitate towards items all the time. It's really bad.
Trip. Wow, what an upbeat.
That made no sense. Of course. Have to. Oh, I thought in the back.
There we go.
This one's a lot easier on 1-player, but it's still terrible. And this one is just as bad. It's like much worse though. Like I don't even know if it's more optimal to hit him off the right side or the left side on 2-player.
Oh, got him.
Oh.
Ooh, gaming.
Well, at least that went a whole lot better. Alright. Still don't know if it's better for you to be Yoshi or Kirby. It probably doesn't matter. There's still a lot of, like, unoptimal
I think Yoshi's
stuff
technically
in this game. Or in this run, just because it's so unexplored, because of how bad it really is compared to 1-player. Another pause glitch. That saves the second most amount of time of all the pause glitches. If I got it. Oh, I forgot there was one more way. Die. Dude. Alright, so other than the first fight, this is pretty good. That bullet bill. Okay. Nice. Now I... Oh, no.
fine.
Actually, that's good, because when we enter another area with the same characters that were in the previous area, it saves time on loading. So, like, right now, when we get to the next area, we're gonna swap the characters we are now, and because we have them both already loaded, it's gonna save time on the loading.
Yeah, there's like a whole metagame now for Brawl 90% runs, just making sure that your character choices are the best.
Well, it's been a thing for ages, but it's probably like been more of a new thing for NG+, which got ridiculous in 2021.
I don't get to do my little Kirby waddle.
I have time at some point. I never thought I'd be playing Brawl at 2 in the morning again.
Never leaves you.
Alright, what's the trophy for today? Music disc. Do not get that, because that will lose us time when we do save and quits in the run later on. Okay. I just have to make sure not to accidentally pick Shadow's character. Wait, this is the wrong... Oh, oops. I just realized we forgot the swap.
Yeah.
Pit, yeah, because Yoshi's great here, but Pit is better for this, so it's not like the worst thing, honestly. And since we're both as the characters that we would have played anyway, it's really not that bad. But I would have ideally been Yoshi here. Pushing me a little bit. Because he can't get further ahead of me, I have to hit these myself.
Yep.
Stay to the left. Oh, why'd he aggro you? It's closing. It's a lot harder to kill with Pit. Alright. I mean, it's still not that bad, but would have helped a little bit if we swapped. I was not paying attention. Alright, now we get to see a Lucas skin. No, I forgot to do good movement. Alright, here, skipping a fight. PK Thunder.
There we go.
That's it. That's all.
Yep, that's all there is to it. I'm gonna die. I didn't get the right bounce.
Yeah, Shadow dying is almost like whatever. It doesn't really matter. I keep forgetting to do magnet boost.
There you go.
Can I get a double damage boost?
Oh my
Trying
god.
to do something I never do. If I time that first Jike hit right, I can go for a second damage boost. It's like the timing is like tight because of the iframe timing. Also, oh wait, no, this isn't Ruins, right? Yeah, I was like thinking that I'm doing the damage boost, but no. Because that could have been bad to not have any more lives. But we're actually fine. There's like literally no way I die in the next fights. These fights though really suck in 2-player. Like it looks this is like really good, but I can promise you it's losing time to 1-player. Oh, so this is really good to pick up a big mushroom. Alright, that was really good for 2-player at least.
Wow.
Alright, I don't have to do a magnet boost because I'm big. Hey! Oh, he aggroed you. Whoa. Keep getting... You have to kill him!
I tried. These are like one of my least favorite enemies in the game.
Alright, there's a magnet boost. That might have been the only time I magnet boosted so far. This just a little way of getting more momentum. Horizontal momentum with Lucas. It's used a couple of times, but because I messed up picking him in the first level and messed up the first area in this. So now we're gonna absolutely yeet Wario out of this planet, hopefully. Just like the practice run. Works every time. If I can get over the wall, you know. Oh, early
and items
spawn.
spawn. Dang.
They always like items. Oh, that was really
Nice.
good, yeah.
Okay.
It's not always perfect like that, and we just got lucky with where he landed, because getting that grab on him is really hard, and then you have to be positioned right for him to actually die from it. I just don't want to be Link if something bad happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting him to come over there and just instantly kill him is a rarity. And now we're back with the crew, which only Yoshi and Pit are like super good. Kirby, I mean, actually all four of them are really good. There's some are better than others. Ow.
Oh, that's where he is. Yeah.
I don't know if that was faster, but I tried.
It looked cool.
Wow, I didn't make that. Stop something. Oh, I got here too quick, okay. If I got here too quick, I kind of like messed up the cycles. I have to waste like a double jump. There's that boost grab I was talking about trying to do in the forest. Alright, can you go to the right to kill this guy?
Yeah.
Teamwork. Oh, I swear to God, if you took that from me. Alright, this is the only pause glitch that I go for that saves less than 4 seconds, just because it's so easy, because it's just these two enemies. Oh my God, that was definitely death. I think I have to wait a little bit. Yeah, good cycle. Alright, not bad. Alright, now I have to be Lucas rather than Squirtle. Because being Squirtle here saves a couple of seconds, because I can make this block cycle at the start. But this is the only time we choose these characters, and I want to be Lucas just for priority because of his moves for later on in the level with fights, and then the mini-boss fight. So, sacrificing those 5 seconds just to have priority. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, maybe it might be possible if I didn't slow down, because you side-beat the Bovers.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is the next best cycle I can make with Lucas, unless that's actually possible. Air dodging through these spike platforms for whatever reason works. And then I don't know movement here with Lucas at all, because you never play him in 1P right here. Yeah, please.
There you go.
It's awkward playing characters you don't really play in sections.
Yep.
Another big auto scroll. But
Yeah,
this
how
auto
about
scroller is special because later on I'm gonna take a little bit of damage and go for a damage boost that saves maybe 1 second, and the damage carries on into the next section, which is 3 fights. Though only one of them can go horribly wrong because like a mine spawn or something like that. So it's really worth it, honestly, for how bad it looks and scary it is. But it's always worth it. Ouch. Right. Looks weird, but intentional damage boost, damage taken.
Look at the freaking hitboxes. Shows up there, and the ding was all the way at the bottom.
Alright. I want to be at like 150, 160, because if I get a really good launch at the right time, it's just gonna make me fly. Alright. Like, I'll hit the end trigger before the camera even catches up to me, just like in practice.
And there he enters the door just to kind of progress that auto scroller. And there's the damage boost.
Almost.
Well done.
Yeah. So there's different damage boosts that can happen there. I got like a wall bounce, which I have to like be a little careful because of the camera stops a bit earlier. Because it tries to catch up with you. So I had to like delay my get up a tiny bit. I think I messed that timing up. What? No, I did nothing. Okay. The first time I did actually nothing. What? Why are they aggroing on opposite sides? That's 2 players so weird. Stop! Oh my god. Can I do something? You just pushed me, Bo.
It worked out, bro.
I guess so. Oh.
See?
Ooh. Right here. I want him to hit the buttons.
I don't like being Ivysaur.
Just so that I don't have to hit them.
That's the big one.
Hit it!
You got it. Go.
Alright.
Nice tech.
I'm probably gonna have to damage boost again. Into a door that you couldn't see because of the camera. Alright, time for Spike funny moment.
Ooh.
Nah, bad timing. Yeah, this stuff, these fights are so bad on 2 players. Like, oh my god. Why? It's so bad. It's so bad. I'm just at talking.
Ooh.
Oh, you could probably kill him. Oh. I think one more would have killed him. That back air strike with Lucas is terrible to hit.
You're just bad.
No, you're bad. Alright. I have to give him Marth because Ike is garbage. Just in case.
Yeah, and obviously if Meta Knight is on the screen, you're going to be playing.
Yeah. Where did he go? No. Alright, but at the end of this section of this level, I'm gonna be doing a dumb clip and hopefully getting it. So, hopefully we get to see that. Oh. I slipped my glide. So I'm gonna be trying to skip a fight that was already skippable by skipping it with a better skip. And it's gonna look very weird. It's one of the weirdest looking skips in this entire game. Take a bit of damage boost.
Oh, shoot! Dang.
That's not easy. So I just put through an entire mountain. That's very insanely, ridiculously hard to get first try.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a one frame thing. I never understood it. It always felt like it is.
It's one of those weird...
It's just knowing the visual cue.
Yeah. And he did it like fast enough for the enemies that spawn don't get in the way, and yeah, basically perfect.
Yeah, I've definitely lost like 40 seconds trying to do it in marathon runs before.
The cool thing too is you don't even have to necessarily do that. You can just go up on the top of the cliffside, and there is a fight skip there that you can do with Meta Knight too. So.
And it doesn't really save all that much. Like I said, maybe 10, 15 seconds first try. Oops, I should have waited. Alright. Surprised you didn't die.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's that guy from Ultimate. This is the better version. Nice timing.
Oh god.
That 5 buffer power shield on that. Alright. Not bad besides me misselecting 2 levels of characters. Alright, well, wasn't that fun? Let's do it again. But with better characters this time. So, if anyone's known about Brawl, you've probably known forever about how Charizard's Rock Smash does that, the bosses. It's been a thing since like week 1 of release. And like boss battles is dominated by Charizard. But you'll see him a couple of times in the maze. Or well, a whole time in the maze, honestly. Alright, so here is like the first, I guess the only real major time save, and the reason why we use POW outside of like a couple other smaller things is that there's an auto scroller that I can activate by entering this fight and killing all the enemies, but we skip over that. But that's not it. I'm gonna enter a death plane that's gonna teleport me past where the end auto scroller fight is.
Oh, good.
Oh, you died?
Yeah, that thing killed me. Okay. That's Edge.
Now I can't do another fight skip at the end, because Shadow, obviously.
You didn't wait for me.
We skipped a minute and a half auto scroller, and that's the reason why we're playing PAL. Like, even if anything other than, anything else that wasn't that, like, that fight is the only, I don't know why I'm waiting. I'm never in Mario here.
Yeah.
So now we have to do this fight, because Shadow. And this is actually quite a lengthy fight. Is it? Yeah, there's always like 3 enemies here for whatever reason. But yeah.
I just wanted to play
if that auto-scroller skip was the only reason we used PAL, then so be it, but a lot of smaller things. It's like, I've never timed everything because there's so many small things, like characters joining your party, some loads are faster, a couple loads are slower for whatever reason. It's no ledge. Oh, stop wall jumping! I can't time that because it's the camera. Oh my god. So, we like to estimate around like a minute 50 to 2 minutes, maybe. Something like that. Now, more good music and
Oh my god.
Shadow dying like every level apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, I normally don't do that. There's a lot of side B because you just need. He's got the horizontal movement. That barely miss.
Oh.
Whatever. There's no way of dying after this. So we're fine. Actually, I don't want to hit that. I don't know why I threw that at you. Don't SDI up! Oh my god.
There's a wall there.
And you just tag it.
Fine, bro.
Oh my god.
I have to practice my SDI.
Am I on the platform? No, I'm not. Alright, now I am. Now I quicken this auto scroller by entering this little hidden door. Save some time. And then we go against one of the worst mini bosses from childhood memories. It's really like ridiculously easy. It's one of the easiest in this game. Like very ironically. It just is. So we're gonna fight Big Ditto here, and he's gonna disappear. Hopefully. Presto. Yeah, that normally could be finicky because of 2-player. I want you to be Diddy.
Oh.
It's
not what we practiced!
I didn't say for you to be Falco to begin with.
I wanted to be Falco!
Too bad.
What the?
Oh, that teleported you. Going in the barrels and sliders like that teleports. Ah.
See, if I was Falco, you wouldn't have messed up this cycle.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Still made a good cycle. Right, but the last bit of the level is kind of like whatever, so I completely forgot about being in a marathon and, you know, donations exist, so I think donations for like the next good minute or two, it's fine. If
Well,
possible.
I'd really like to open the floor and encourage people to donate, talking about their favorite characters from Smash or their names if they play in any form of competitive. I mean, it made me laugh seeing somebody talk in chat that, oh, Nessa's down tilt is the strongest thing in Brawl, like DPS-wise, because I used to style on people in school doing that. And now it's really tough to play Ness in any form because he's really toxic, and I hate that, but then
Very
it's really
true.
fun to hear Pit's voice in this game because it's so different from what it became in the next one, and I love playing Dark Pit. I have a lot of great memories playing Brawl overall. It was definitely my most played for the longest time, so I'd love to hear donations talking about that. And it's all going to Blue Pass Service Dogs so we can help raise money for autism service dogs. We'd love to do that. And if we get to $3,000 raised, which we're still, what do we, quick math there, $369 there? Nice. We get to name one of the dogs, so we're really approaching there, and if it helps, you can put your donations towards fun things like playing as the Sonic skin in Fez, which we're at 65 of $100. We'll need 35 more there. I'd definitely love to see that completed before we get done, before I take a 20-minute nap before work. I definitely believe we can do it.
That is cool. I used to run Fez like 5 years ago.
Really?
Good game. I don't keep up with it much at all. But that'd be cool to see a Sonic version
Yup.
be played. Alright.
Am I supposed to be Pikachu?
Optimally, yes, but I don't... What? God, why did you hit that button? Oh my... Oh wait, no, it's just a timer.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's one thing you are not supposed to hit because it locks you from progression. But I'm not supposed to, but I could be Pikachu here because Pikachu is ever so slightly a couple seconds faster than ZSS, but I don't play this game much anymore, and the last time I really played it, outside of doing runs for like P+, is NG+.
Don't believe him.
Yes, believe it.
Don't believe him when he says, I haven't played this game in forever. Don't believe him.
I really haven't.
Don't believe that.
So now I swap because I'm doing the main strat to kill these Sami. Just down smash Thunder, which in 2-player probably is worse for whatever reason.
Watch out for that.
Did you just throw that at me?
that was the Samus.
Oh, I did not see that at all. Eat
That was
this.
amazing, actually.
Alright, so normally, because of the circumstance in the next room, I would be Samus, which is slower than Pikachu, but I have to be Pikachu here because if we're only playing 2 characters and we're going to be doing another skip of sorts that can only be done with Pikachu, so I have to be Pikachu here. And yeah, movement here with Pikachu has never been messed with, really. Because it's just so unoptimal in 1P. Because right now, instead of going the normal way, as I would in 1-player, which is going upward with Samus, I'm actually going to go here with Pikachu. And I'm going to do a little fight skip by entering a death plane that will teleport me past a fight that we're supposed to do. Hit a button up here to activate platforms to land over on this one. Take me to my death because I held right for whatever reason. Alright. I could just do that again. And hold upright this whole time.
There you go.
Thank you. I don't know why I did that. And now we go up here into the next room, and this is where Pikachu does a funny little skip. And
nice.
Reach this teleporter, which bad game design yet again. Sakurai slacking. I forgot you're supposed to hit that.
I gotta contribute.
Alright, and just a lot of clean, quick attack canceling in this last section. Alright. Now we have a big character. And both of these characters really kind of don't have good moves or good damage output against Ridley. But it's all we have, and we're getting the best RNG, thankfully. I don't know if we can kill Ridley in 2 attacks, so we normally do 3. That missed completely. Alright. Alright. This is flying by for whatever reason. Alright. Now, Shadow gets to be one of the worst subspace characters in the video game. And do nothing, really.
Yeah, this guy is terrible. Almost unplayable.
No, I think he's full blown unplayable in this.
Yeah. I
Another
can't
fault
do
glitch that I can't ever remember the timing for.
this.
Alright, try to do a little cancel off this guy. Oh, I don't know why I held that thing. Okay, funny monkey business time. Shadow's gonna do what any, 40-year-old dad does with Donkey Kong against their child. And I'm gonna actually play the game. Maybe
Wow.
you should have taken that.
That's okay.
Oh well.
Oh.
Oh my, that, I don't know if that had a potential to crash because of that. That was just bad timing, lads. Like, that's literally like the only, like the 5th one and we're halfway through the game. Like, it's ridiculous this build, like, never flags. Okay, cool. Nice hammer. I need someone to hit me. Okay. Now you just monkey.
Okay, that or they could just do that too.
Alright, kind of like a whatever fight. Really annoying and even worse in 2-player. Alright, this level's got the most cool Meta Knight movement into the worst auto scroll. If I can do it all right.
Don't be bad.
I didn't want that. So now I'm not gonna make this cycle properly. Oh, I even missed. Okay, I don't want this. Alright, I guess I'm gonna have to deal with it. Okay, come on. That's really stupid. Alright, that was not that good. Now we enter a 2-minute auto-scroller, very sad.
Yeah.
So, if there's any donation, this is like the best time. This auto-scroller is very long.
I definitely remember this one in particular, so that says a lot. Well, besides that Fez play as Sonic, which I do love the fact that you ran it in the past, I'm glad I mentioned that one. We've also got the Left 4 Dead 2 bonus campaign run, which I love that in parentheses says damn it, because I've never actually played Left 4 Dead, so if that's the name, that's fantastic. We're only asking $50 for that one, definitely can make it, and then the final one currently incentive-wise that we have open is Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening TX, which is Good Boy mode. We only need $30 more to get that to 100. That's met. We have so many more we can open after that. And like I mentioned, we're only $369. Nice, away from hitting 3,000. So we can name our own Good Boy. I'm telling you, we can definitely make it before the end of tonight. If we really wanted, before the end of the marathon for sure tomorrow. I absolutely believe in us, and I can't wait to see what fun names we come up with. I know Thunder was presented earlier because that was from the run that broke 1,000 initially, which we weren't even sure if we were going to meet that by the end of the marathon as a whole. And y'all continue to absolutely blow away our expectations, so I would love to see us reach 3,000 while I'm still awake, because at this rate I think I got another 16 hours in me, so...
Yeah, you got another 16, I got maybe another 2. And luckily this game ends
believe
in
in
1
you.
hour. So... Alright, I am going to try my best not to die, because if I die right now, that'll be probably the most embarrassing game over of my life. Okay.
Okay.
Because I've never game overed in that auto-scroller, and that's, I think, quite literally the worst place in the entire freaking game to die at. Game over.
Yep.
So we're all good now. I should have done like that. No! I didn't want that.
Uh-oh.
Alright, it doesn't matter because I had to.
Okay. You should have got it.
Now, more movement. I'm fine. Not gonna get hit. More cool Meta Knight movement.
So good.
Now
Balanced
we both
character.
get to be broken. And annihilate this furry. Come here. I like barely saw he roll.
There we go.
Cool. Just a bunch of double sword hits, really. Because, you know, when you're Meta Knight, you really don't have to use your brain. Alright, Yoshi... Okay. Just weird menuing in 2 players, awkward. Just having to avoid the second player character. Yoshi used to be the old optimal 1P character in this, and then Kirby was figured out to have like better strats by like 10 seconds maybe. Now you get the best of both worlds in this. I might take that. Oh, I barely hit. Oh, you should have up smash. Alright, don't hit the glide. Let me hit him. That's fine. Whoa, watch this quad kill. Oh, never mind. Get it, get it, get it! Be fine. Oh, that's bad. I can't back it. Eh. Oh my god.
That
That
didn't
doesn't
kill it?
because it's a fire move.
Wow.
Or a fire item. And it's a
That's great.
fire enemy. Oh, this is really good. So you can just hit them into this. So. Alright. And now I go bye-bye. Oh, you failed.
I tried.
Alright. Time to do a trick that I'm gonna fail because I haven't done it in months. Alright. So now we get to play as Snake finally, and to get to our first area, I'm gonna be using dash attack cancelled up smashes, everyone's favorite tech, I think. And that's the only time we ever really see Snake use this. And now I'm gonna be performing a very hard skip that hopefully I remember how to do.
If you miss it, you're bad. So he's gonna be going out of bounds and try to using this his character in and
barely
almost
too low. It's
yeah.
so bad. And now I have to be Snake for this section because normally you hit 3 buttons or you destroy 3 subspace portals and then hit 3 buttons to unlock progression from the doorway here in the middle. And being Snake is not the greatest. Can I go up, please? Oh, why did that take it? And Snake is so bad movement-wise. That sucks. I lost so much time. And because Snake sucks, we don't want to be him anymore.
He's using Invisicape there to kind of
Very good, got hit.
skip that section.
Alright. You hit the little guy. Just killing that enemy before... Oh, whatever. You got him. You get that guy. Just taking... They're just taking our rolls. Ah, damn it. Ah, go. Okay. Alrighty. And that was it for Lucario. Because you be Snake now. I love loads. Alright. Now we just smash him to the side. Oh, good timing. And that doesn't kill because of the health. Oh,
okay.
Power shield. Alright.
There we go.
It's a lot worse on 2-player, like almost everything, but... Alright, time for Shadow to do absolutely nothing.
Say something?
No, I didn't. I didn't offend you in any way.
Oh, good. You wouldn't do that to me.
No. This is just a lot of chain movement with Sheik. If I can jump.
There, pushed him at the end. This is probably like one of the most annoying levels for the second player, because once he runs past everything, it's just there for me to somehow navigate through.
Push me! You didn't even catch up. Ouchie.
There's a bomb
Oh,
there.
I should have left.
Dang.
Oh my god, I got annihilated. Bomb with soccer ball is not a good combo. My god. Alright. I mean, that's not the worst thing, because you're grabbing the leg!
But you had it!
Because now I have the health to make it through here with a bunch of damagers. Because if I get to 100%, rolling off a ledge, I swear I teched that. Oh.
You are on the thing.
So if I got to 100%, rolling off of the ledge in this last section is much slower.
A little push, optimal.
One frame.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, Snake and Sheik. Sheik used to be the quickest before Snake was realized to be kind of pretty good. I mean, just look at that butt. Pretty good.
Why did they nerf it?
They nerfed a lot of things, it seems like. This is back in the good old days of over-emphasized models. Oh, get him before he jumps.
Sure.
Alright, getting closer to the end. A few more levels and then the funny maze. But before that, I'm gonna do a little wacky 4-second skip. So I'm gonna give Pikachu a good old bonk by going on top of this elevator, running into this wall, hitting his head, and just going out of bounds barely, and saving a few seconds. How did I go through that floor, and how did I recover? That was such a split-second decision.
Ow.
Go. Oh, that was really good. That was really good that I got into the trigger so fast that it doesn't, like, mark the fade out. Did I choose Diddy by accident?
You chose Falcon, I think.
No, I mean, like, for you.
Oh, at the
Are you
last one?
Diddy, or are you Diddy, or are you DK?
I think I'm DK.
Okay. It's not that bad, but... No, I couldn't get this yet. Ideally, I wanted him to be Diddy. His items could be, or his peanut gun could be really good in like 2 situations. But Diddy and DK in some states are practically the same character. Oh, almost got them at the same time. Alright, so this is like the infamous level that a lot of people hate, is when people run this game because of how long it is and so much stuff to do. Yeah, I felt like that was gonna kill me. That's so dumb. Oh, now I'm not Falcon. I can just ignore those. And let me go all the way down. Please. Ow. Whatever. So, this is a little slower than being Falcon. Watch this snipe.
Oh.
Yep. Because I'm always Falcon, I never do that, so that was just a guess on the charge.
That was to show me it was possible, because I couldn't do that in our practice run. Yeah.
Oh god. I thought I jumped too late. This is very weird with Diddy. Alright, little damage boost. Just to get past all those flames. With iframes. The iframes are kind of crazy in this. Oh, he ran. Actually, oh god, if I held that for longer, I was gonna be OMR for like the last 2 seconds. Oh, I thought you were getting that. You're pushing me.
I'm trying to get behind you. Fine.
Nah, I didn't mean to choose OMR, but I'm not gonna die twice. Go left, go left, go left, go left, go left. Just despawning. Oh, bad timing. Ouchie. Alright, up one more.
Oh my god. That's an annoying item to spawn there.
I got him. Nope. I grabbed an item. Actually, this would be really good right now. And that's why. And then the last 2 enemies, and 2-player, hard to get one-shot kills, so I'm not worried about it. It's just a lot more health. There we go. Oh wait, hold on. Hit him to the left. Oh. Could have saved like 2 seconds. Alright, I'm gonna be performing another auto-scroller skip that saves around a minute. Hopefully I get it. Might have been too late. Oh, that's fine. Or too early. A lot of leeway with this one. So now I die because in the PAL version this camera is locked here for whatever reason, and in the NTSC version it is not locked there. So NTSC can do the skip as well, it just loses like 7 seconds. That's the other like quote-unquote major time save from playing on PAL. It's really just the one auto-scroller skip in the Wild 2 that's a minute 30, and then this is 7 seconds faster, and then everything else is just minute. And my character selection that I chose was specific because Rod to do the skip, Falcon for the fast falling, and then DK to spawn quicker into the boss fight that's coming up. So, just saving time on loads by having the characters preloaded. A lot of big brain stuff going on. Then Falcon secondary because he's the next best. Couldn't get that extra. Bad RNG. Oh, I barely got him.
Nice.
Goodbye. Alright, a couple more levels and then the funny maze that I really don't want to play right now, but we're gonna have to. Unless someone finds a maze skip.
The Holy Grail.
Like, I don't have to care about maze anymore. I got my time I wanted. So, anyone find it, we don't have to play it. Would be cool. Alright, big auto-scroller. This level is really just one big auto-scroller into one big fight skip.
Yep.
And this is the last fight skip that's gonna happen. So after this, they're done. A lot of just casual standard gameplay. Well, not really casual, but a lot of repetition, especially in maze. Actually, you stay down there. This makes more sense. You have to go more right.
And now he's gonna build up the speed for the glide. Fortunately, got the ledge. A little tricky. So like,
I'm just gonna avoid going down because I can just do it like this.
all right.
Hitting this glide is harder when I don't go all the way down though.
It
There's
actually
3
skips like
fights.
3 separate fights.
Yeah. They're not that bad. The third one is like bad, but the first 2 aren't. But it's still not the hardest. You just learn how to aim horizontally, and that's really it. Just like get enough speed, and then just be as horizontal as possible. Now we have the big guy that is gonna do like nothing. That happened because I can save this. That's so stupid. Cool platform. I don't know how to do any of this with Luigi. I don't know anything with Luigi. Are you kidding me? How do you play with Luigi in this? Oh my god.
Really slowly.
This sucks. I have to go down here again because you never play. I didn't want.
I can't even go back down.
God, this is so terrible.
Ooh.
I don't know where that puts Ike in here. I think I might just not even get Mario for the menuing. I have no clue where Ike is in the menuing. I think I can afford Marth. I'm just getting characters that I need for menuing for the Great Maze. Especially when we do quit outs as well. And Charizard will be the character that Shadow will use. And then Meta Knight is the only character we're gonna get. I'm just gonna avoid Mario. I don't know. So normally you have the set of characters that you normally would pick. But in this case, I didn't want to choose Ike, but oh well. This is so painful, man. Okay. Okay.
Resist the urge to chain grab him to 999 for the sake of the speed run.
It's probably going really bad. So much has already gone really bad.
A lot of our stuff that we did good in PB is been like reversed. Might be about even. Although that Nest death was pretty fortunate.
Well, speaking of, I do have a donation here if we have a moment.
Yeah.
This is $5 here from Stan Moon Nick, and they said, very cool to see Subspace Emissary. Randomly saw this stream on speedrun.com. Also a cool cause. My favorite Smash characters are Peach and Zelda. I was wondering if the streamers intend to upload this run to the leaderboards on SRC should they PB.
Yeah, we have a section for emulator runs because there's like a couple people were interested in running the game on emulator. A couple, like around the start of 2021, I believe, and we've had an emulator section since. And if we PB, we'll submit it there.
Yep.
You know what, this feels far from a PB, even though PB is still not good. Alright, this is technically the second last pause glitch, but the last pause glitch I'd never go for it because it will lose time if I try to go for it. Or actually no, I could because you can get the Gamaga, right?
Sure.
I think that makes sense to go for it. I always forget the last one.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense to actually go for it in 2P. Because I get all the tickets, you get the Gamaga if I mess it up. So I'll go for it. So this is the last pause glitch attempt, which kind of sucks that I got absolutely none this run. So. I tried. Oh, okay. I did the normal timing I normally do, and that didn't work. You get set up on the Gamagas.
Okay.
Hey, of course. Alright, I'm pretty sure I did the timing right. Oh, that was literally frame per.
Nice.
Right as it ended. Alright, well, the last one
Huge.
was the only one.
Huge.
That actually is the pause glitch with the fight strats currently that saves the most amount of time. It saves, I think, 12 seconds compared to, like, the one at the Lakeshore after the 2 fights is 11. Optimally, but that's with keeping Yoshi alive, like in 1P, in like 8 seconds.
And now for Great Maze.
Yeah. Now Great Maze. Menuing is a little scuffed, sadly. I think we actually needed to get Mario, but I don't know. I can't remember where Yeah, actually, it makes sense because Ike was after Charizard, right? So, getting
Yeah.
Mario, we should have for menuing, but now we just have to deal with it. You just have to go down one, I have to go left one. Which actually, you know, maybe in 2P that makes a lot more sense, honestly. I think. Right? I feel like that makes more sense, actually. Yeah, I think it does. Alright, so the main strat in this section, the Great Maze, will be me trying to shuttle loop everyone to death. And Shadow will try his best to not do that.
die. Unfortunate.
You should just be teleporting. Just teleport. Kirby is the secondary choice because he got a ridiculous down air against everyone. Yeah, the health. I'm gonna go reverse, okay. Reverse hitboxes are stupid. But Kirby is a good secondary option because of down air on normal characters and then side B hammer for bosses, so always a good backup. But this section of characters isn't that long, so he won't be Kirby for too long. Okay,
Nice.
that's good.
No DI.
It's not the end. It's not the end of the world. Like Charizard's really good because in our practice run we discovered that forward air, but Charizard sends them so far off stage for no reason. It's like the same thing as Mennonite with not doing that. I've never killed myself off like that. I don't know how that happened. I just jumped once. I have no clue how that happened. Alright, well this is awful. Completely awful. And we have to kill like the 2 characters like this. Alright. Oh, this is terrible.
Yeah, this is like worst case scenario right now.
There's only 2 characters, but oh, this is dumb. Like, I have no option. Like, what is my option? This might be the first time I've ever played Luigi in the maze. I have no freaking clue.
First.
I have to grab and you just down air. That's my only... Like, you go off stage and I just send them off.
Oh. It's a good recovery.
God. What the hell?
I'll beat him.
He's gonna jump. Wow, Luigi sucks. I hate this so much.
Alright,
well. This is why you don't want to play anyone other than Meta Knight. I don't know what I'm doing with this character.
well, this is gonna be a bad level. And I actually can't use Kirby's neutral B to kill these guys.
You have to down air. Ow.
Double.
If Yoshi didn't exist, this would have been fine.
Yep.
And here we go into this door because we need to activate this checkpoint. We don't actually have to enter it, we just have to like enter the door. Because we're doing one of our first 2 quit outs in a little bit. Now we have to wait for this.
Okay.
This is already a terrible start. That's great. Can I? This is why like 2 players. Another reason why 2 players sucks, because they switch aggro constantly. So it's like constantly miss. It's just not good. Earlier jump. Now, we just discovered how ridiculous that is. Like, Charizard's main, like, priority was if I, like, accidentally popped someone up, just to use up B that kills off the top, but that fair is just much better than Meta Knight's fair. You have to press plus.
Oh yeah.
Alright. So normally, in this quit out in 1P, I would switch to Charizard because we're going to a boss fight next. But because Charizard is a really good just secondary character, Shadow would be Charizard. So it doesn't matter. A lot of these characters in like 1P are kind of the same feeling in 2P. So it's really just mirroring 1P almost in this, besides like if they get caught between the two of us, it's just that aggro is weird. Teleport! Oh my god.
I'm
You
getting
need
hit.
to just teleport.
I'm mashing it.
Eh,
Shut up. Don't yell at me.
mash it harder.
That's what to do.
No, you're not helping me.
These guys freaking suck.
Ow. Loud. Please. I'm
Come
pressing
on!
down!
Come on!
Oh my god. I don't know how that reverse hit. That hit so late. That made no sense.
Mm.
Ouchie. Oh, I didn't recognize that. Alright, I need to do some dips just to get more speed all the way, because some of these glides are long. How did I miss that? Oh. Oh. How would shoot that? Oh, I almost touched that. Eh. Try not to get hit here as much as possible.
Oh, fuck.
And stop dying!
It's hard!
You press the button to teleport.
I'm a ginormous dragon. You're a tiny little knight helmet.
Might be able before I get damaged? Nope. Alright. I was probably gonna avoid healing, but I took too much damage, and also that's why I did that, so gonna heal. Wrong section, oops. Dun, dun, dun. I can't remember the menu. I'm choosing DK. I'm not, I don't want to even see it on my icon list. Oh, why'd you switch? Okay. Wasted like 2 seconds. Yeah, the loads are pretty bad.
They're not that bad.
They're pretty bad, man.
They're not that bad.
For an emulator, they're terrible.
They're not that bad. Down B.
Right, I just discovered that this is a thing that's faster that I never knew my entire life. Because there's an updraft, and just using a special move through it doesn't affect you. That's cool.
You wanted me, dude. Crazy.
These moves go so high. I never realized that. No safe strat. It's one of the most annoying characters in this. Oh. I could just hit him. There we go. Alright. So you grab the key and teleport. Alright. Now you teleport. And now you chuck it. Yay.
Perfect. Co-op. Yay.
This is the only thing that co-op is good for. And I have to hit that myself because he can't get to me in time to do it.
Yeah. This room is a bit of a problem.
Oh, I landed up top. Okay. Then you hit the... that?
Yep.
I don't think he dies. Okay.
Oh!
I guess he still dies. The easiest character in the game that I totally did not lose a PB run to before. I got to do the glide. Whatever. No, that might just came out of nowhere. Not a good RNG already. Easily can kill him in one attack. Alright. We don't need heals, so I'm gonna go for this really cool glide that I forgot how to do completely.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
That I got, okay. That's like a really tight one because of the blocks that are moving. You don't need to enter that checkpoint door because their second quit out isn't from that checkpoint, from the last one, so completely fine. And expect a lot of damage from this hallway. It's just the nature of it. I have to reverse. Okay.
Oh,
I'm hitting
nice.
all these reverse.
That was a good one. All right, so I'm gonna try and hit that switch. Hopefully, you can get a good glide from it. I got hit by the fireball. I'm not gonna make it in time. Oh wait, I got it. Oh yeah,
You got it. I've never done this before. How can I go all the way? Oh my
Yep,
god!
yeah.
You should go all the way. All right. Well, that's new.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
We're like, that might work in our practice run. Yeah, it did. Very cool.
That's a new glide. Normally in 1P, you have to cancel the glide to hit one of them. Alright, this guy's gonna die, right? Oh. Buffer. I have to up these. Right.
Got you.
Like, how does that kill? And how did we never know about it? Charizard fares just ridiculous for no reason at all. Has no reason to be that good, but it just is. Alright, I'm already dead. I guess we'll just heal. Why not?
Yeah, no! God.
Oh, of course.
I was mashing it, dude.
Oh.
I was mashing my life up. Ugh, dang.
The quarter. If you hit him.
I did. Not Charizard anymore.
No, this fight's gonna be a decent bit slower. Don't hit me.
Ooh.
Don't enter the minecart. There's two people that have done 2-player runs recently that a couple months ago found a weird camera skew glitch, and it was because second player entering that minecart before entering this Meta Ridley fight, and then after that Meta Ridley fight, the camera is just skewed so far to the left, so like it just doesn't follow the first player at all, other than just to the right. It's very weird. So always have to remember not to enter that minecart. Because the run is still continuable, it's just that Meta Knight would be all the way to like the left. I think this is just more worth it because of Galleon. Oh, I have to always go down. We've entered the checkpoints too many times.
One
Jesus.
extra time. But we also
Jesus,
skipped
baby.
it one time, so.
Terrible. I think. Okay. That was almost too late. Oh. Forget about that rock. I might get hit. I had to do a normal glide so I could avoid that. Alright. Can I remember how to do this for once? I was supposed to dare, I think. Yeah. You have to hit that. No, never mind. I can just do it. This has been so bad. Alright. So now the second quit out is almost here, and you need to enter this door to get the checkpoint save, and just normally heal here anyway, just because it's a couple of characters. That's probably dead. I had the eye. I didn't want that damage boost to make the same cycle anyway. I just have to time it all really good. Man. Ouchie. If I can remember how to do this glide, that'd be nice. Alright, I guess I'll just get damage. I don't remember how to do this glide properly. Just fall down, please. Don't alter. This is an terrible seed. Terrible RNG seed. I swear this is so bad. Oh my god.
Don't! She's dead, it's fine.
And we already played this, so we don't get any achievements or challenges.
Big time save.
Oh, I'm stupid. Ugh. Alright, a little bit left.
Yep.
Just like another 2 lines of characters. Oops. I can make it. Fine. That's bad DI. Right.
Dang.
That's hard to get the quick kill on him. He spawns so close, so you have to like instantly dash attack and then hopefully get good or bad DI. And then hopefully Luigi doesn't jump, because when he jumps it's awful.
Spoke it into existence.
He always jumps.
Pretty sure that's like almost exactly 2-player exclusive.
He always jumps.
He's done that like in every one of our.
I forgot the freaking movement with up B. Oh my god.
Please.
Can't get this movement. Why am I getting hit?
Oh my god, this guy.
I can't do this. I literally can't do any movement. Alright, now just one more line of characters. Pretty much. That movement is really annoying to get used to. So many, like, delays. Jesus. I tried to do a... Oh my god. Just die. Alright, last couple of characters and then the funny boss. Which we're actually going to be switching roles because of like one particular move that he hopefully does. Because out of the two of us, I can smash DI better. Oh, this is a good setup.
Yeah, I've been practicing it this entire run.
You're not going to get a chance to do it. Ah.
Oh.
Have you seen my smash DI, bro?
Yeah.
Nasty.
Not that impressive.
Oh, I tried to do Oh. Oh. Cool.
Oh.
Tried to do what I did before. So much time for doing it. And he's dead.
Have me ledge.
So now I'm gonna try to make this cycle, which is really tight, which was actually discovered in like 2011 when the first person who did IOs of this category figured that out, that you can make that cycle. And it wasn't rediscovered until like 2021. So, last couple, and hopefully no crash.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't do this on emulator for whatever reason.
It is kind of weird on emulator.
Oh, he didn't go all the way left. I tried to read a jump. Of course.
Well. That was the upbeat of the century. See it? Alright. Okay.
The bluffer, man. Every dime of this.
I tripped twice in this fight.
Alright. Now we have the final boss, and time ends when the red bar goes away. the last hit, pretty much. Now we swap roles. Kirby back up in case.
Starting off with some terrible luck so far.
Oh, right. We should have actually gotten hit by that.
Yeah, technically.
He might... Hands? Oh, I could have killed right there. Oh, I can still kill. Alright, time... Now.
Now.
End. Alright. I don't know what the time was, but that felt absolutely atrocious. Whew. Alright. You can watch Taboo die, because... whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And now everyone lives.
We can actually skip the credits. Save
Yeah.
time.
But...
Probably enough to record.
No one cares about in-game time. It doesn't really matter to me.
Do we have a final time on that? I'm looking at the
2:03:39.
That is record, actually.
203, that was such a garbage run.
So what's going on,
man.
SRC?
Yep.
Wow.
It's like, I think it's more validated because, you know, after playing this like the 4th time, I can just notice how much worse a lot of the loads are from console just because of the build we're playing on. But it's such a great build for net play that we just have to, because you probably only saw like 8 to 10 lag spikes the whole run, which is just ridiculous for people playing across coast from coast.
Yeah.
That's not on like rollback netcode. So I guess we'll live with it, but for how terrible that is, I guess we might just mess around and consider what sub 2
Yeah,
does.
that like subspace and
sort
a
of-
little bit of maze definitely cost that sub 2.
That was easily well over 3 minutes of time loss.
Yeah, because the first
Yeah.
good part of it was really good, actually. Aside from a few like missed characters.
Yeah, I messed up more than probably Shadow, but the deaths with Charizard kind of like like some of them happen at the worst times, but like that first half of Maze was garbage, but whatever.
Yeah.
This is like easily beatable.
The time save with Charizard being a backup for the fights also.
No, this
Alrighty,
can be.
where can people
much
find you, and you got any shout-outs to give?
I mean, if anyone wants to watch me play this, probably come back in 2 years, because I don't really play this much.
He will literally be playing it the next time
I
you stream.
don't play it. I
He will be-
literally
he
don't.
will
I
be
just
playing
play a
it.
card game right now. I don't play it anymore.
He
I-
will be playing it.
I only might de-rust it because I committed to doing a multi-game run of this and 2 other mods that are Brawl Minus and P+, for like a trifecta of Subspace Emissary runs. That I might commit to in like a month or 2, and I intended on doing runs literally this month, but I got addicted to a card game, so yeah. So that's the only time you might see me play this, is 1 or 2 stream the D-Rust and then do this for like those 6-hour runs of all 3 games. Other than that, I don't really play this game much. I really don't. Don't listen to Shadow. I don't.
He plays it
I
all the
don't-
time. He plays it all the time.
I don't know if I have any shoutouts really. I guess Brawl for being, for having this. Like, I don't really care about anything but Subspace. That's all I ever play in this game. So cool. Shout out Sakurai, I guess.
Yep. This is out of like all the Smash speedruns that I run off, this is easily the best one in terms of like a speedrun. So it's definitely worth getting into. You can commit the time to learn it. It's really
There's a
fun
lot
and
of-
satisfying.
There's a lot of resources that I've posted in the last like 2 years. So if you go on the leaderboard and look at the Discord and resources and whatnot. There's plenty to learn from with this game. I think that's all. Just then the credits are ending, so I think that's all for me. Unless you have something to say real quick.
No, just thanks for having us. We appreciate you guys accepting this run. I know it's kind of
Yeah.
a little bit of a weird run to showcase.
It's sadly not the greatest two-player mode, just because it's so One Piece centric. But watching it, if it goes well, is decent.
Like, I know Maze might not have looked crazy, but I was actually sweating the whole time because trying not tech going so fast and just getting hit once and then I can't teleport. It's like super
Alright.
nerve-wracking.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
that's it. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Alrighty, y'all. That was Subspace Emissary. I guess I'm still a little bit in shock that there's a two-player category for that, but it was really fun to hear that. And then also getting to talk about the fact that in Ultimate they just nerfed his butt considerably for no actual reason. But I'm still happy to have him back in Ultimate, so getting to watch somebody, a group of people playing, there they are in chat. What's up? Thank you so much. Getting to watch y'all play reminded me of my years in college, which realistically speaking wasn't that terribly long ago, but I played a lot of casual or friendly competitive Smash with people, and it was a lot of nights of Smash or Splatoon with friends, and it just gave me that good nostalgic feeling. So I really appreciate it. I'm so glad I stayed up to get to host the run, more just to watch it live more than anything. There's something special about catching it live, and it's definitely a VOD I'm gonna rewatch just out of curiosity. I like watching the Lucas skip in particular, and I didn't know he could just kind of launch himself with Magnet, so that's super cool because, as I did mention, Ness specifically, but I did start learning Lucas back in Brawl. Those years, Ness was like all I played. 64 through Brawl, he was my favorite, and discovered Mother through that because Earthbound is a fantastic RPG. Started learning Lucas at some point there in Brawl. I didn't know you could just fling yourself like that, so that's super dope. It's been a long time since I played Emissary, so it was really cool to see those levels again. During that run, we did get a fantastic donation from our friend Stan Moon Nick that shouted out, they found Multithon through speedrun.com, so I wanted to give a super big shout out to SRC. They've been putting Multithon on their front page all 3 days of the marathon so far, and every time they do, the view count always bumps up. So I want to give a shout out to speedrun.com, and I want to say hello everyone that is watching from there. Thank you so much for being here. We are raising money for Blue Path Service Dogs. I'm going to pull up the right blurb here. Blue Path provides autism service dogs offering safety, companionship, and opportunities for independence. Blue Path's expertly trained autism service dogs are provided free of charge. They improve safety and provide families with the freedom to unlock life's potential. In Blue Path's Pause to Learn program, dogs spend time providing therapeutic support in schools, camps, residential homes, and rehabilitation settings. Future service dogs and program participants learn together, with the dogs obtaining important training experience and individuals receiving invaluable benefits. Pause to Learn impacts over 2,000 individuals annually. Blue Path is committed to the success of each of their placements. They remain closely connected to all families, answering the normal questions that arise when learning to navigate life with a service dog. Each Blue Path dog comes with thousands of hours of training from dedicated volunteers and professional staff. The cost to prepare these incredible dogs is upwards of $40,000. Yet thanks to the ongoing generosity of supporters, both service dogs and ongoing follow-up support are provided free of charge. So for more information on Blue Path service dogs and to see all important dog pictures, definitely big there, you can visit bluepathservicedogs.org, and that's spelled exactly as it sounds. I wanted to just remind, as I read that, $40,000 is the cost, upwards of $40,000, to train these dogs, but they provide them completely free of charge. So that's a fantastic thing. It's a fantastic cause, and we've already raised $2,636 on day 3. As a friendly reminder, we expected hopefully $1,000 for a 4-day marathon, and we are crushing it. Our next stretch goal is $3,000, and we get to name one of these fantastic pups. So please keep that in mind. We are $364, yep, I'm doing my math right, dollars away from getting to name one of those dogs. Please keep those donations coming in, and keep in mind the power of your donation goes much further than just a couple dollars and a message. You can also pick how you influence our marathon with incentives and bid wars. We got Fez Play as Sonic, Left 4 Dead 2 bonus campaign run, damn it, love that, and The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX Good Boy mode are all of our incentives currently open. We got a couple bid wars if you want to check those out as well. That being said, that is my time on the mic. I've been up for about 20 hours now, and I think I got another 15 plus ahead of me. And I'm very excited to say I will be back hosting again later today while still awake. It's going to be exciting seeing how I sound then. In the meantime, your next game is Banjo-Kazooie, and I have the fantastic next host for you with me currently. That is our lovely Happy by 3. My friend, please take it away.
Thank you so much. Thanks for doing everything you've been doing. It's always a pleasure to have you. That is right, folks. It's a little less late in the day for me because I'm the Lord's time on the best coast. So we have plenty of evening left. It's not even 1 o'clock yet here. We can hang out. We're gonna hang out the best way I can think of. Playing some N64 games, some good vibes, and lots of Cheetos. What more could you need? I'm gonna leave y'all to the dulcet tones of our OC Remix playlist. We'll hang out a little bit, and I'll let y'all know when we're back at it.